We talk about Big, we talk about Aiden.
I couldn't help but wonder.
What about Aleksandr Petrovsky? Hi, my name's Kat. Welcome to my channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. Carrie and Charlotte go to a gallery for an exhibition of a woman not eating for 16 days. They see her at day 6 and she's looking, well, not great. Carrie catches the eye of a man and the music swells. This is the beginning of something. Carrie is intrigued, and when she tells Charlotte about him, they look over and he's gone.
Okay, that's him again.
They spot him again and Charlotte reveals,
Oh my god. That's Aleksandr Petrovsky, the artist.
that's Aleksandr Petrovsky. Only something like this would happen to Carrie. Before she can even finish her sentence, he notices them looking at him and he walks towards them, very suave, and he hands back the exhibition booklet. Charlotte stops him and says,
I don't mean to bother you, but I just have to say thank you. Your abstract #1 was my first important sale.
His demeanor is a bit...
Okay. You defined the 70s in terms of progressive.
You just shushed me.
This is our first impression of him. He's cordial, but he's not warm.
And what did you think?
He wants to know what Carrie thinks,
Good.
and Carrie does her bit. This is what rom-coms do. The girl has something witty to say that leaves the guy both amused and wanting to know more.
You are a comic.
And it works. He seems impressed.
Oh my god. We just met Aleksandr Petrovsky.
The show thinks if they say it enough times, we'll buy into his fame even more of how important he is. It's very heavy-handed. We're supposed to care. We're supposed to be wowed by him. He's amazing, right?
Aleksandr Petrovsky? Oh my god.
Here we go again. We get it. He's a big deal, which means it's a big deal that he will have an interest in Carrie.
How did he look? Is he still gorgeous?
Okay, here's what we learn about Aleksandr Petrovsky from Samantha. He was the #1 hot guy at Studio 54. He dated many top supermodels, not just models, but super.
That would make him, what, 53?
And he's 53, so he's 15 years older than Carrie. She's said to be 38 at this point.
Well, you're a freaking old man. You should be thinking about somebody else.
The last significant older man in her life was Big, so it feels like this is a parallel to him and their relationship. As Carrie is just lounging about, enjoying her day, looking very adorable, the phone rings.
Hello?
I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm sorry too. Wrong number.
It's Aleksandr, but she assumes it's a telesales call.
This is Aleksandr Petrovsky calling for Carrie Bradshaw.
Take a shot every time they say Aleksandr Petrovsky, or whenever they act like he's the best thing since Beyonce. I feel as though, you know that trend that's going around TikTok where sexy back plays whenever someone enters the room? I think that's what they were trying to establish. He invites her on a date. It's flirty. There's a bit of back and forth. He pretty much dares her to go back to the gallery with him to see if the lady is in fact sneaking a Big Mac, as Carrie suggested.
Let's say 1.
1 a.m. Maybe this is why romance sometimes passes people by, because 1 a.m. I'm in bed by 10, even 9:30 at times if I have a good book or a good episode to watch.
Today drained me.
Carrie has that warm, fuzzy feeling. It's written all over her face. Like, this is the beginning of something wonderful.
Good evening.
She meets him for their 1 a.m. date. He points out it's
103, did you say?
104.
Since when did becoming a stickler for time become so attractive to a woman? I guess he's commanding and taking control, which can be alluring in the right context.
I write a column for a newspaper.
Congratulations.
She tells him about her career, crickets.
You were quite the regular at Studio 54.
That must have been an amazing time.
She asks him questions. Crickets. One of the reasons I think Carrie likes him is because he's different. It's a change of pace from all the guys she's dated in the past.
I rarely think about the past, but I care about what can happen today.
As they make their way to the gallery,
Oh, my purse, I left it in the cab.
Aleksandr chases after it. See, we need to know he's agile, so we watch him run. It's like, see, he might be 50-something, but this man can move. It's important. We know that. He kisses her hand. It's romantic. It's different. He does ask her to spend the night with him, but she declines. It's also unique to Carrie, and although half confused by the events of her first date with him, she's enjoyed every second of it.
3 whole weeks. I thought you died or something.
We find out there has been a 3-week gap between their interaction from their first date, which feels odd. It didn't need to be the next day, but 3 weeks? We learn he's been traveling, so more emphasis on him being a worldly man. He's here, he's there, he was in New York, and then next he was in...
I was in Holland for work. Milk chocolate?
You don't have a mousetrap in there, do you?
No. Why would I?
I was being silly.
As Carrie attempts to joke with him, he doesn't seem to get her humor. It's a little jarring because whether it be Big, Aiden, or even Berger, they were able to laugh, but there's this noticeable missing element that's overlooked for the time being. Then he starts kissing her neck. On a bench. In the park. What? I mean, she hasn't heard from him in 3 weeks. She's barely tasted the chocolate treat that was sitting in his pocket. Open, might I add. She's more trusting than me. I would be like, no, I'm allergic to Rohypnol. I mean, chocolate. Carrie announces to the girls,
I'm taking a lover.
Wait, the old guy?
and Miranda responds, the old guy. Miranda is saying what maybe some of us would be thinking. I don't think the age gap is necessarily inappropriate. They are both adults, but he is much older than her. When older men date women who are significantly younger than them, I do think it says something about them. And 15 years, to me, is significant.
He's not old. He is worldly.
There goes that description for Aleksandr. He's worldly, he's wise, and very sexy. Only older men get to be described that way. If it's a woman, she's a geriatric. She's this, she's that, she's the other. Does she need a hip replacement? But for a guy like him, he's very sexy. Okay.
Maybe he could be more than a lover.
So Charlotte thinks it could turn into something, whereas Miranda is more skeptical. And I get why.
And half the time, I can't even understand him. We have nothing in common. He's in and out of Europe.
Especially with Carrie listing all the reasons they couldn't be anything more than lovers. Where could it go? After a bikini wax, Carrie tries to impress Aleksandr by learning 2 phrases in Russian.
Spasibo.
There's my studio, and here's my house.
The thing about Aleksandr is he gives Mr. Big energy in the sense that 1, he's older, 2, he's rich. He's really rich, more than Big.
You have the entire floor?
Mr. European who's amassed all this wealth through his out-of-the-world amazing talent. He's an artist and no one quite understands the world like artists do. That's the vibe it's giving.
Спасибо.
He invites Carrie in, they kiss, and then they sleep together. And when Carrie wakes up and walks downstairs, his entire team is sitting there on computers, on the phone, making calls. And she's a bit startled. She says, in the light of day, everything was completely different. Carrie feels slightly out of place.
I am not in the way.
What?
It's nice that he's busy and he's an important man, but in that setting, it's intimidating. And the question is that intentional?
Portefeuille, bien. Maintenant, sois poli avec Monsieur Groll.
I mean, is it giving lover or is it giving pretty woman? It's clear there's a lot of...
I couldn't help but wonder.
So she goes to...
Google.com showed many listings on the art of Aleksandr Petrovsky.
The article reads, Aleksandr the Great. The Aleksandr the Great?
Just keep saying it. Keep saying it out loud. And maybe you will convince Hope, because you won't be convincing anybody else, so dream on.
With as many women in his bed as there are colors on his palette, Aleksandr Petrovsky emerged from the 70s, a contemporary Lothario, seducing both the eye with his dazzling shimmering sculptures and the body with his graceful charisma. Life Unbound, arguably the artist's greatest work, resembles nothing so much as a spiderweb. And as I waited to meet the handsome Russian-born sculptor and bon vivant at the Santa Monica eatery Indigo, I wondered if I would be the latest fly to fall prey to his charm. It carries on and talks about his relationship with someone called Tabby Randall, the legend of Petrovsky. I'll skip to the end, and it says, despite the brevity of their relationship, Tabby was quoted as saying of Petrovsky that he could bewitch you with his eyes. His touch had all the power of the ancients. A kiss from him could create a new mythology.
Whatever that means.
Now, as on the nose all of this is, it's all to convey a confronting truth about Carrie, how deeply she craves the fantasy and to be desired by seemingly unattainable men.
You have the entire floor?
From having the whole floor, to the country hopping, to the intimidation the morning after, which only inflated his importance.
You got yourself a man, a real power player.
She wants him. After sleeping with Aleksandr again, Carrie is resolute.
I realized I wasn't really comfortable in Loverville. I'm not that kind of Google.
What does that even mean? How much did Google pay them for this? She goes over to his studio and tells him it's over. I think we can look at this a number of ways. One, Carrie is someone who can't do grand gestures without grand romance. All the cynicism that she has, all the realism she tries to implement in her life, she is still a hopeless romantic. Two, she desperately wants the validation that would come from being wanted by a man like him. That's evident when Aleksandr says he likes her and she says,
Why me?
3, this was the writer's attempt to give her her whirlwind romance, and it had to be bigger than big. And that's why we see Aleksandr portrayed in this grand way. He's the man, the myth, the legend. Has anyone ever compared to Aleksandr?
Why me?
His response was better than I expected. It levels the playing field. I'm glad he didn't say because no other woman, blah, 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 blah. I don't know about you, but I didn't see Aleksandr as the guy for Carrie. But this moment is a turning point. What are your thoughts about it? Do you like him? Did you like him from the beginning? Am I misjudging Aleksandr?
So what's all this?
It's too soon to tell.
Things seem to be going well between Carrie and Aleksandr as they spend more time at his apartment. He plays the piano, he chases down cabs. Next, he'll be parachuting from the sky and defusing a bomb. What can't this man do?
This little tune I've made up for you.
What? I can't even look at you all right now. I'm so embarrassed.
It's not genuine, it's pure show. I can't stand all that artificial hoo-ha.
Aleksandr also recites poetry.
They pretending not to believe the cherishing of eyes would beat against my palm like butterflies.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I'm only half kidding because Carrie and Miranda feel underappreciated when a guy makes little effort, and now too much makes them cringe. Have their past relationships left them that jaded?
I know it. Big's not coming. Men are shit.
And I don't think Miranda is a good barometer for relationship advice. Her approach has landed her with Steve. Maybe a bit of hoo-ha would have been beneficial for her. Anyway, Aleksandr gets them opera tickets and gives Carrie the Oscar de la Renta dress that she was admiring in a magazine while he read her poetry. As they dash over, he thinks the moment is perfect and asks her to dance. It's all a bit much for Carrie, and she faints. Yeah, she's gone into romantic anaphylactic shock. And she tells him,
"It's too much."
If romantic overtures are part of the relationship package, one that includes healthy communication and emotional support, then why not? What are your thoughts?
I'm sorry about the opera.
Don't be silly.
They ultimately reach a compromise. They forget the opera, and in McDonald's, they dance.
You made me a set of keys? It was a kind of security I'd never experienced in a relationship.
To Carrie, Aleksandr is straightforward and their relationship is mature.
I got a glimpse of life as a threesome.
And I think a great example of that is when Carrie's looking after Brady because Miranda's on her honeymoon, and it starts a very frank conversation between her and Aleksandr about the topic of children.
You're very good with him. Have you ever thought about having children?
I have one. No more children. How about you?
I've always thought that I might. I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
And when were you planning to do this? How old are you? 38?
I felt like I was just shot with a .38.
He is very straightforward in their discussion, but I'm going to have to whack him just a little bit for the fact that he never mentioned he had a child.
Her name is Chloe.
Not once, and they've been together 2 months. That's very odd, to me at least. How removed from their lives, or better yet, how removed are they from your thoughts that in 2 months they don't naturally come up in conversation? Bizarre. Anyway, whatever my thoughts and feelings are on their relationship at this point, I love the conversations it evokes with the women. Carrie discusses the matter with Charlotte and asks herself a difficult question.
That if I really wanted to have a baby, wouldn't I have tried to have one by now?
It's not just about the right man, it's about her. It's refreshing to watch her stream of consciousness of all the things a woman can want in this world. It just hasn't necessarily been on her list, and that's okay.
Well, I guess it's not going to happen. That life, if I'm with him.
Then bye-bye, baby. What else is on the menu?
The Russian doesn't want to have kids.
Well, then, dos vidanya, or however you say it.
Then we see her conversation with Samantha, who has an opposing view from Charlotte. Both are valid in their own right.
A lot of fabulous things in life that don't include a baby. What would that be like?
And I think ultimately the problem or obstacle for Carrie is the option no longer being there. It's a different story when both people in a relationship equally have no interest or they just never get around to it. But the choice no longer existing, the definitive no, that's what Carrie needs to determine if she's okay with.
Will you love me enough to make up for the fact that I didn't have a baby?
As Carrie is out for a walk with Aleksandr, she broaches the topic. And he's understanding. He expresses how he doesn't want to take anything away from Carrie, but he's too old for children. And this is the conclusion we're left with.
I didn't know exactly what I wanted, but I felt like I was getting warmer. My Russian had been taking me around the world.
The next we see them, it's clear Carrie is enjoying the relationship. He's taking her to different places, she's trying different cuisines. From where we left them, all the wonderful things that Samantha talked about seem to be playing out before her eyes. Until, while they're shopping for an espresso machine, they hit a roadblock.
She doesn't even look sick.
But she's sick, yes?
Well, she was.
Carrie tells Aleksandr about Samantha's cancer diagnosis, and he drops the fact that his friend died from breast cancer.
She's gonna be fine.
Had a friend who had breast cancer. She died.
Then keeps looking for the machine. It shocks Carrie, understandably, and she's hurt.
You weren't being very sensitive about my feelings. Your first response was to tell me about your friend.
Who died, yeah.
See, exactly.
She tries to tell him that his comment bothered her, but he refuses to really listen. He starts talking about realism. He refuses to stop saying die and death, which makes her all the more frustrated.
You don't want your friend to die.
Please stop saying die.
It's their first argument and she attempts to storm out. Then she and another things him as she's making her way out. And he still plays clueless. And I say plays because this is a choice he's making. She's understandably calling him out and he's insisting on acting rational or logical over a sensitive topic.
Carrie, please. Let me talk about what I'm afraid of.
When Carrie and Samantha sit down, we see that Samantha did need space to express her fears about cancer, but that doesn't absolve Aleksandr in my opinion. I said it earlier, romantic gestures without emotional support is hollow. He can whisper sweet nothings, but sweet optimism is where he draws the line. When a rodent takes residence in Carrie's apartment, specifically her hair, she calls Aleksandr and she tries to explain why she was so hurt once again, and he starts on the same delivery that upset her in the first place.
My friend who died.
Oh my God!
Wait.
I can't see it as anything but an unwillingness to meet someone halfway. He says, I didn't want you to be surprised. I was surprised when my friend died. But beloved, this isn't about you. It's about Carrie and her love for Samantha. So put yourself aside and just focus on what she needs. Candor and kindness aren't mutually exclusive. Why is he capable of the razzle-dazzle of romance and not emotional support? Not wanting her to be surprised isn't dropping that nugget in the kitchen supplies aisle and walking off. That's not cushioning the blow of death. But Carrie steamrolls past this glaring red flag.
That sign can't stop me because I can't read.
While having brunch, they run into Aleksandr's acquaintances, and we learn that he's launching his first exhibit in years, a solo show that will be hosted in Paris. Carrie is supposed to meet the girls for lunch, but is too busy having her feet massaged to even let them know ahead of time that she won't show up. It seems like Carrie's starting to do that thing that she does when she's way too invested in a relationship. Remember Miranda naked on the bathroom floor with Aiden? Ugh.
It's just so different and so... it's grown up.
Carrie expresses that the maturity in their relationship is refreshing, but is that just the scars from her previous romances that make her say that? With Big, he was unavailable. With Aiden, he was suffocating. And with Berger, he was insecure. Aleksandr has presented himself as the opposite. He's available to explore a relationship with Carrie, but on his terms. He's not suffocating because he hasn't actually let her into his life. And he's not insecure because, well, let's be real, he's a bit full of himself.
We don't really have anything in common but each other.
What? Pardon me?
We're not really involved in each other's lives. He never shares anything about his work. I guess I just had this idea about a couple sharing everything.
Is a mature relationship letting one person dictate its terms? I don't think so.
Maybe you could meet some of my friends.
Carrie makes the effort to let Aleksandr into her life by inviting him to meet the girls, and he agrees, then doesn't show up. He calls the time that they're supposed to meet, which isn't a good look, but I guess it can happen. Carrie.
Compliments of a Mr. Petrovsky with sincere apologies.
You know who did show up to meet the girls?
See, there he is.
Oh, shit. Oh. Sorry. Jump scare.
I'm just kidding. Carrie has the bright idea of being spontaneous and just showing up at Aleksander's apartment.
What are you doing?
I'm being spontaneous.
When I say I'm working, okay?
And it doesn't go well. It's not the worst thing, but it is an embarrassing moment that he could have handled better. Did she make the right choice to go there? It's debatable, but she was going off of advice he had given her to be more spontaneous. And because he isn't sharing with her much about his work, how can she know that he wasn't going to be able to spare even a moment? Carrie is truly bothered by his icy treatment of the girls, but in my opinion, he's icy in general. When she goes to confront him, she sees that he's upset.
You are brilliant.
She sees this as a step in the right direction, but it's not. I mean, call her Superman because vulnerable men is her kryptonite. Carrie loves to play the supportive girlfriend for guys who don't deserve it.
You're a beautiful writer.
Big knocking over the dominoes when he was ill, her holding Berger as he cried about his ex-girlfriend. Is history repeating itself?
Your friends enjoy red wine?
Another relationship hurdle barely jumped, and finally Aleksandr is set to meet the girls when they host a dinner party together.
You know, I'll be in Paris for some time with my exhibition. I'm hoping you'll come and be with me.
He asks her to go with him. A pleasant change for Carrie, but is it about what their relationship actually is or means, or is it rectifying and plastering up old wounds that were left from before? From Mr. Only come with me to Paris if you want to come to Paris, if you want to move to Paris, don't do it for me, to yes, move to Paris, be with me. They sit down for dinner and there's this energy.
I think my maid is using my vibrator. Yesterday, the batteries were dead.
Mr. Studio 54 comes off as icy, cold, and judgmental. He doesn't try to make conversation, and he doesn't engage with the ones that his guests are making. Samantha's vibrator story was tame. If he didn't like it, he could have started a new one, but he's just there, pulling disapproving faces.
What, breaking and vibrating?
As long as it's not entering.
Carrie keeps a watchful eye on him, gauging his temperature. She's on edge. She's not comfortable.
It's a beautiful piano. You play?
Yeah, I do.
Even the guys make an effort. When Steve notices Aleksandr's piano.
You know any Billy Joel?
I'm not familiar.
Piano Man?
Whether Aleksandr has heard of Billy Joel or not, he could have engaged. Mr. Man of the World doesn't know basic hosting etiquette?
Tell us about your sculpture exhibition in Paris.
They are not technically sculpture.
Oh, sorry.
Even when Charlotte tries to change the topic to his work, he can't help but correct her. And the thing is, this is what he was like right from the beginning. Haughty. The way Carrie jumps in to give his work the proper title shows this, and his condescending response is even more telling.
They're large-scale light installations integrated with video imaging.
That's fine.
Just look at everyone's faces. To make matters worse, when Miranda is asking about how much time Carrie will spend in Paris, he announces,
Are you going for the opening?
Yeah, she's coming with me. To live.
Hold on. Carrie never even gave him an answer. It was weird for him to speak on her behalf. And what's worse is Miranda was directly talking to Carrie. Her mouth even goes to move in that moment. And he answers for her.
Were you silent or were you silenced?
And just like that, I became uncomfortable with Carrie and Aleksandr's relationship. Because why is Aleksandr the one who sets the parameters of their romance? Are they equals in this?
My whole life is here.
That question is quickly answered when it's clear Carrie has reservations and Aleksandr is rigid about it. It's all about him.
I need to be in Paris now. I've been here for 3 years. I'm finished with New York.
I've been here 3 years. I'm finished with New York.
Do long distance for a while?
You mean back and forth? It's never worked for me.
He went from asking to an ultimatum.
Voulez-vous an ultimatum?
Yes, Carrie, take a hard look in that mirror. How did she get so lost in this?
Stop killing it with questions.
We just want to make sure you think this through.
I am thinking it through.
She's defensive with the girls about their hesitations, but their questions are valid. What about your job? What about your apartment? If he's paying for it, doesn't that give him all the power?
What if all those helpful lunches and late-night phone calls to friends have made us all girl talk and no girl action? Is it time to stop questioning?
You done lost your damn mind. When you get your damn mind, you call me.
When you start writing articles like, don't listen to your friends, don't ask questions, it's time to reevaluate.
Carrie, I got you a job. You get me a man.
Carrie meets with her ex-boss Enid from Vogue, who invites her along to her party, but there's a catch. She wants Carrie to set her up with one of Aleksandr's friends. Carrie tries her best, but he's not what Enid expects.
He's a hobbit.
At this already awkward party, Carrie runs into an old friend.
Carrie Bradshaw! Where the fuck have you been hiding?
There's a strong message being shoved down Carrie's throat. This could be your life. The aging New York party girl or the aged, lonely working woman.
If you're a successful 50-something woman, there's a very small pool.
I don't know why I pulled strings to get an invite to this piece of shit party. I'm so glad to see you, though. We're the only two single girls here.
Carrie is terrified of becoming either of them. I believe she agrees to go to Paris, not out of love, but fear. Absolute fear of what her life could be if she doesn't take Aleksandr up on this offer.
A few moments later.
I want to go to Paris.
At Lexi's funeral, Miranda is adamant that Carrie shouldn't move to Paris.
I can go with him and live my life.
You mean his life?
She tells her she's giving up her whole life for Aleksandr and yells,
"You're living in a fantasy!"
No matter how misguided her approach, when we see Carrie riding in a carriage with Aleksandr, it's staring us right in the face. She really is, but that's something she has to figure out on her own, no matter how painful it might be. It's 3 weeks later, so at least he gave her close to a month to organize her life, but she's going to Paris. The girls plan one final hurrah for her, and on her way to their dinner, Big is waiting outside her apartment.
Deleted. Deleted. Deleted.
Carrie has been ignoring his calls because it's like this guy has EPS. Carrie's in a relationship. Time to mess with her head again.
I made a mistake. You and I.
You and I, nothing!
This time she's strong and she refuses to allow Big to insert himself into her life. The years of him messing her around are over. She tells him she's moved on and she's moving away to live her dream life in Paris. But when she gets there, it's anything but. Except for seeing the Eiffel Tower, but even that quickly loses its luster because there's no one to share it with. As she waits for Aleksandr to take her out for her first night in Paris, he cancels because of work. In his defense, he did try and call her, so Carrie accepts that and tries to keep her spirits up. However, her days don't get any better. She falls face first in Dior and loses her Carrie necklace.
I can't have lost my Carrie necklace, no.
Although it's inexpensive, she's shaken. It's symbolic of her current situation. She's lost herself. Where is Carrie? She sees 4 girls laughing and instantly thinks of Charlotte, Samantha, and Miranda. She gives Miranda a call and tells her how upset she is.
You know, I'm alone a lot.
Come home.
What I don't understand is why she had to go there leading up to his exhibit. Why not after? Anyway, Carrie reveals something she doesn't want to be judged for.
I keep thinking about Big.
What would it be like if she were in Paris with Big? It always comes back to him, whether we like it or not. Finally, spending some time together, Aleksandr gives Carrie a diamond necklace to replace the one she lost, but it encapsulates everything wrong with their dynamic. She is Carrie. There's no substitute for that.
This is Andrea, my best friend. Remember I told you.
Aleksandr's friends approach them. Amazing, he understands what friendship and good conversation is now. As he and his friends talk away in French, Carrie just blurs into the background. She gave up everything for a fantasy, but reality is hitting her in the face, hard. Remember this question.
Will you love me enough to make up for the fact that I didn't have a baby?
Is she being loved enough? I don't think so. Still trying to put on a brave face, Carrie soldiers on, expecting to meet Aleksandr and his ex-wife, Juliet, for breakfast. But surprise, surprise, he can't show up because of work and leaves her in an awkward situation.
Sincere apologies. Crisis at the museum.
He didn't even call Carrie, he called Juliet. How bizarre. When Juliet starts asking questions and dropping more insight into Aleksandr, we see what's been transparent to everyone but Carrie.
And I couldn't quite get used to always coming second.
Juliet says, Aleksandr says you were a writer. Carrie corrects her.
No, I am a writer.
Juliet asks if Aleksandr is comfortable with Carrie's career, and she says he's supportive. But how? He expected her to give up her job in 3 weeks without the prospect of another one in Paris. She even left her laptop in New York. She allowed her life and her career to be dispensable and secondary without even realizing it.
Sorry, museum, I have to go.
Again?
Carrie hints that the excuses are wearing thin, and his response is, "Don't make me feel bad." He loves that song, Me, Me, Me. He makes some stupid face and she lets it go. Carrie's days continue just like the ones before, wandering the streets of Paris aimlessly. It's depressing. She doesn't speak the language, she has no job, no friends, no Aleksandr.
Carrie Bradshaw.
Finally, there's a glimmer of hope when Carrie meets a woman who loves her book and says that her and her friends would love to throw a party for Carrie, all to celebrate her. It's the best thing that's happened since she came to Paris. As Carrie's getting ready for her party and Aleksandr's getting ready for the museum, she notices him shaking.
Good luck at the museum.
We've been here before. Carrie trying to confront him about his treatment of her friends, and then noticing, oh, he's vulnerable. Let me tend to him. Same song, different dance.
He's very sensitive.
Aleksandr is worried about how his work will be received by the museum.
Will you go with me?
He asks her to go with him, but the question slowly turns into him guilting her.
I have my party.
Oh, please. I need you there. I need you there.
This is where I'm done whacking him for a bit, and I'll focus on Carrie.
Clear your throat.
Lubricate.
Read that bitch.
This is what she had been hoping for, to be seen, to connect, and it falls into her lap. Not just potential friends, but people who admire her work. That's what makes it even worse. It wasn't just a come hang out, it was about Carrie, the writer, being valued. She's actively standing people up who are celebrating her to go and hold her boyfriend's hand.
Oh, thank you, my darling. And promise not to let go all night, huh?
She doesn't even call the restaurant or say, I'll go there first and then come and support you. Nothing. Carrie and Aleksandr arrive at the museum, and he's met with a slow clap. As soon as he gets the praise that he belittled and stuck his nose up at Charlotte for giving him, he's overcome with pride, and just like that, lets go of Carrie's hand. She's left sitting there. He doesn't introduce her to anyone, doesn't come back to check on her. She's blurred into the background again. As Carrie sits on the bench, she notices a small hole in her bag and finds her Carrie necklace. It's honestly such a great moment. I go from being furious with her to cheering her on.
Someone slipped a threatening note under the door.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Mob mentality or whatever.
She dashes off to go to her party, but when she arrives, yes, you guessed it, these people admired her, and she let them down. All because she chose to put a man first who doesn't even put her second. She's probably fourth behind his abstract light thingamabobby 1, 2, and 3. Back at the hotel, Carrie confronts Aleksandr, and he doesn't want to hear it. I've had a stressful day. Me, here we go again. There's no acknowledgement for what he did, how he treated her, or how it made her feel.
That's what I do. That's who I am. You always knew this.
This relationship is not mature. He's self-centered and dismissive.
And we'll talk more as soon as you...
No, not as soon as...
Please, Carrie.
Then this happens. What do we think? Everyone's welcome to their opinion. So she reached for him, he pulled back in a very pronounced way, and he accidentally backhands her.
It was an accident. I didn't mean to.
His reaction to me felt inappropriate, to try and pull her into that forced hug in that moment. And when he says, "I'm so sorry..."
I'm so sorry. I thought I was clear all along about who I am.
Was met with a caveat. It wasn't even about the slap. It was about the misunderstanding of who he is.
Maybe it's time to be clear about who I am.
It took a while to see, but it's as clear as day. This isn't love. Not the kind that Carrie's looking for, and not the kind she deserves.
I am someone who is looking for love. I shouldn't have come here.
If Carrie stayed with Aleksandr, it would be a rinse-repeat of neglect. She's there in his suite, he's paying for her apartment, she would be living his life, not her own. When she turns back and kisses him on the cheek, saying, "It's not your fault, it's mine," she couldn't have been more wrong in my opinion, but at least she's walking away. She chose herself. Now enter the big bad wolf. Controversial relationship, we all know this. But what was established is she walked away from Aleksandr, not for Big, but for herself. Big is just the rom-com ending bonus. Aleksandr became the villain, making our regular villain look not too bad.
Perfect.
Yes, excellent.
From what was dark and depressing, the sun begins to shine again. It's like the Wizard of Oz. There's no place like home. And you know what I love about it? She didn't have to pay for a single plane ticket. Go, Carrie. So we can say what we want about Carrie and her flaws. I just can't knock the feeling the series finale gave. You've Got the Love playing as Carrie walks through New York and says, "The most exciting, challenging, and significant relationship of all is the one you have with yourself. And if you can find someone to love the you love, well, that's just fabulous." Okay, so what do we think? Was Aleksandr Carrie's worst boyfriend? She moved across the world for him, and that's what she got. Did anyone like Aleksandr Petrovsky? Have I got him all wrong? Let me know your thoughts and if there's any other relationship you want me to cover, whether it's on Sex and the City or another show, and I'll see you in my next video.